Good morning. Hello, hello. London time. Yes, and no internet outage today, so that's pretty awesome. So, yeah, daylight saving. We went Eastern went 1 hour back, right? So, let's see. So as you can see, I'm in a London trade. I posted in the Discord already that I was looking at the 44 level. And yes, we did not even leave that for our inversion, but price action is giving me at this moment a little bit of a vibe that we are going there now. So I entered already. So I do expect it to leave the the purple area like I posted in Discord and go to the 4044. From there on, I will reassess. You have to be a little bit careful with price action today with everything going on. So I'm just taking it but I entered also on my evaluation. So I've got two micro goals on. So let's see if the next macro is going to take us there. Yeah, we'll see. It might go a little bit to the downside. So first we'll see, and then it might run up. But first trade of the week, and we are consolidating. But I do think it's time. It is. It wants to leave that 4 hour inversion because it's been there a long time. And even Friday, that's why I didn't have any interest in gold. Let me just see, where are we? Why is this giving me such a hard time? There we go, we're running. That's what I like to see. Fast, curious. So everyone else, how are you doing, guys? Did anyone is anyone in a gold trade as well? Or I did watch NQ, but I saw this opportunity, so I took it. So that's why I'm in this right now. Just watching it, and 4044 is my target, and I want it to be met in this macro. So if it doesn't meet it, well, let's see how it runs, and then preferably before 3, and otherwise latest 3 after 3, but we'll see. Yeah, I didn't expect it to move already, but hey, you've got to take your opportunities, right, when they present themselves. There we go. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. I love these macros. Okay, so we are over the purple line. So the purple line is a 4 hour fair value gap. I made a pre-post in the Discord pointing out that I'm not interested until it's not leaving. But with the 150 to 210 macro, it was showing it just presented the stage to it created liquidity to take it out in this macro. I'm starting to really see the logic now with these. But let's see. Hey, I could also still be wrong, right? But 252 now. Let's go. I'll show it's been in that 4 hour. I'll show you guys, and we're actually in the same on NQ, but on a 15-minute inversion. We're just in that area. Here we go. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me show you here on the what I'm looking at. So this is a 4 hour inversion, and yes, we do have rejection potential rejection blocks here. So that's why I noted this area here, because this is the first point. I do think we might go higher until here the 0.5, which is also event horizon. So that's a midpoint between two end walks. This is my first point of entry. No, let me put it this way, the low-hanging fruit. So I will reassess here because I do believe we have another leg down again. But I do think if we're bullish, we might go up all the way here, which is the 0.5, but also the midpoint of two end walks, which is also just as an important level of liquidity. But this is just my lowest hanging fruit. So that's why I start the day with the lowest hanging fruit that and then I'll just reassess. If this works out, by the way, because it could just slam down and then take that level later, right? So I might take one off. Um, Let me see how we go, because we are over. Let's just go back to the 15 on this one. Yeah, I'm taking one off just in case. I already have like it's okay. It's one off. I'll tell you why. Um, yeah, 251. So what I don't like when we have a bullish macro, I don't like it when we start bullish. So let's say when we have 249, 250 is already two bullish large candles. It always makes me a little bit wary. We still might run, but I just don't trust as much as I do when we have like two bearish candles when we start a macro in a bullish run. So either we're going to consolidate. That's what my journal has taught me. But then again, it could always be different, right? And we're still again in this, we're bouncing in that 4 hour, at the high. So that's why I'm sort of like, with this behavior, I'm just a little bit wary. I took one off. I still have one running because even if it might run, it's okay. But I just don't trust it with this large displacement in the beginning of the macro. I would rather have a down close candle. And this still makes me a little bit weary, but this is still target for me. But let's see. Um, it might start consolidating again, right, in this area here. That's why. Hmm. 250 to 310 macro. I think we might be up. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some consolidation and maybe some manipulation again into the 4 hour um, inversion. As you can see, right? It's not just using the macro yet, but let's see, because it could do it in the second part of the macro, right? So then we get like consolidation in the first part, and then the second part might run, but we'll see. Could also slam down and then go later, but I don't. It doesn't. It just looks manipulative right now. We've got nice weather again here, finally, guys. I mean, summer has started, and I've been just in rain and wind for weeks and been cold. I only have an outdoor shower. Normally that's enough, but I mean, it's not pleasant when there's a lot of wind and cold. Very unusual. So, anyway, who cares, right? I'm just very happy that with the with the weather. Just makes me happy having sun and warmer temperatures. Well, let's see. Shall I quickly check NQ? Is anyone in an NQ trade already, or is something to add on the NQ on my analysis, or what they are seeing? I love to hear what you guys are thinking, because hey, it's after the weekend. My brain still needs to start up. I'm a little bit slow. Do I have my coffee here? I should have my coffee here, but we'll see. Okay, let's quickly go to NQ. Okay, so one more on NQ. We are entering in this okay, higher time frame. We've got this new N wall below. We tapped into it. We exactly tapped into the 0.5. It's a little bit unclear for me until now why. Because let me show you here as well. Like similarly on the what I showed you on but we have this 15-minute inversion where Q had made its way down, so I wanted to say leave it, but I'm not convinced because we tapped into the 0.5. Like, are we really going to go lower? Are we going to go back into the range and back up to into this area here? So NQ is a little bit tricky for me at the moment to read. Yes, we are going down, we are below this, but it's trailing down. I want to see if we are, let me quickly, I'm keeping an eye on gold, but we're just in consolidation again. I want to see where we at. Where we at? Okay, we tapped the 0.1/3 level of the wick. So now the question is, are we back here, or does this become liquidity now? Because that's what you want to know, right? Is liquidity or not yet, or is it a rejection block? Now, if we are rejecting here, then we can safely assume, I'll mark that point by the way, because it's I think this is the last, this is liquidity now. 15 minute, that's good enough for a short. 2613. And then we have got the yeah. Okay, well, I don't want to be in two trades at the same time, so I'm just going to monitor my goal. But this is liquidity now for me because we don't have much rejection left in that large wick, right? So we are below the 15-minute inversion. So I do believe we are. If anyone is in a trade on NQ, I think it's a solid. I can't enter because I'm in another trade right now, which I want to monitor. Just want to see. Yeah, I think 2613, and then obviously it might just stall there again a little bit. But I think it's a safe trade. If you're in NQ, I think it's a valid short. Apologies, short. Not a long, not a long, no long. So this will be ITP, but I'm not in. I'm not in. I'm in this trade, one trade at a time. So, but it's similar, right? It's sort of similar. You can see the price action is similar because they're both leaving a inversion, and they're both going to either one level. Just 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. So you see how price action is behaving, right? When you start noticing how it starts the macro, and it already sort of gave me information that we might be in a not in a smooth run to the upside, but I think it still might be good. Let's see. I think I could, because there's not a easy move. I cannot. Oh, I can move my stop, by the way, but I don't like it if there's not a run. It's sort of like it could slam down any time, so that's why I'm a little bit wary of the behavior. But I'm break even. I'm gonna bring it just below this one here. You can see. Yeah, that's a minor tick. So I have to move this one too. There we go. Let's see. And then again, just reassess. We still have a lot of. We have to be a little bit vigilant about, what's happening this week. Um, so we've got 10 a.m. We've got the ISM manufacturing PMI, but we have still the government's still shut down, right? GBP. Oh, we do have PMI in UK at in 1.5 hours, so that might be interesting. We'll see. There we go. The only thing that I don't like is just creating liquidity, right? It's just going on, going, and then I don't like. I'm not too crazy about this. So I have to be. I want to be vigilant. I just want to. Maybe I will move my stop, and even if I get stopped out, it's okay because I just don't like the price action. But we still have 5 more minutes in this macro. Let's see. I'll bring you. I'm going to bring you up a little bit because you are. Here we go. I should have a break-even trade no matter what. It's always better to have a break-even trade because I guess psychologically, right? But it because it slams down on you, it goes against you. You didn't lose any bullets, so to speak, right? If you give yourself 3 losing trades in a day, you still have 3 losing trades, right? Because if that will be stopped out in profit. Now, why am I a little bit? Because I see flat bottom candles here, and those tend to get very. If it goes down, I wouldn't be surprised it goes all the way down to here because they're flat and they need manipulation. So they need like a manipulation candle, and that can be a fast, violent one. See, I just don't like it. I might just get out of the trade, to be honest. I didn't know. Still in. See, this is imbalance here. It reacted from this imbalance here on the 15 minute. This is the reaction. It is a bit frustrating when you have like a TP and it's just going to take 2 or 3 macros to get there, right? Because it just wicks up and down. And it's always tricky when you just leave one of those areas of those inversions, not in a way like I said, I don't like it when we have a macro starting the way it did. Um, yeah, I'm just like, it was this exactly at 250. It was already bullish, 249, 248. And often I see that I know I have to be careful if I'm bullish. I prefer to see a down close candle, like I said. Because then it's more of I don't know, it's just something that I guess algorithmically I just started noticing. So if you trade macro, start watching that on the 1 minute. Like how does it behave? And every time when I see this, I know I have to be aware. Like, oh yeah, okay, might not run to my TP in one easy, I guess the easy, I mean, hey guys, I guess the easy times have left us for a while. Yeah, the breaker retest and then goes in one time after retest to TP. I had maybe one trade like that last week. And the last few days I decided not to trade my funded and even my evaluations. I was like, really? Yeah, I'm just gonna paper trade the rest of the week. Um, I did have one good trade on Friday again, which I also took on my evaluation. Thank God to one of the people in the chat. Uh, there was a good opportunity, which I actually didn't see at once, but he pointed out a few things, which was pretty awesome. Um, but besides that, I think it was one of my weeks that I traded the least times in, I guess, in 3 years. I can see NQ is going the same way. We just have to be more patient, right? Have a good stop loss, either break even or whatever, and just still take a risk, I guess. We still need to take some form of risk, but it has to be um, well mitigated risk, and we have to really be more careful with our entries and exits and just mitigate it a little bit, size down, and really wait for your model or your A plus setup, and then I guess we'll be fine. Now I don't like this. We're in a bearish gap and we are retesting this. I think we might go into a bearish. Might get a move down instead of a move up. Macro's done. So let's see what's happened. Did I miss? I'm just wondering if I missed something. I still think it will. I'm just really. I think this level 44 is the higher time frame objective. I don't think. Well, I can't understand why it will go down sooner. That would really confuse me, to be honest. I will see. So in with one. So my thing is always patience. If I am in a trade like this and it takes long, I get like a little bit restless. I'm still work. I have to really. I guess that's my demon. Especially when it's such a small move, I just get I get annoyed a little bit. So I'm a distribution trader, so I like the fast, longer moves. And I mean, it's still a good trade thinking about on gold, right? It's still not bad, but if you look at it, this area is just consolidating, and technically, if you look at this area, it's moved back and forth, and again we're in this area. So when I saw this happening, I mentioned it already, but I don't know if I could just get out then at, like I said, 3 past. This was 5 past 3. You see? This actually gave it away that it's not going to be one run. The start of the macro here. I'm getting out. Yeah. Okay. I'm out. I'm out. Yeah. Why? Because we are again in this for. I see that the body of the 15-minute is still tapping this. Bearish fair value gap. We've got breaker here. Do we? Hold on, hold on, hold on. This is the breaker. I'm gonna get rid of you. Here, you're gonna go here. Yeah. Let's see if this is a retest. It might be, if it's a valid retest, it will be fine for me, but I need some more confirmation. I had a really nice, hey, good morning, Elaine. How are you doing? It's a sunny morning indeed here. So, how's it going? Hey, what is this? Why am I seeing this on my screen? Oh, I need to get rid of this. There we go. Did you do any trades today, Elaine? So I'm going to journal again this, that the 250, the macro started here, and instead of being a down close candle with a little bit of a displacement, every time it's the same thing. It never does what I wanted to do. But let's see if this is, I still think the 344, the 44 is still in play. But let's see if we can get a better, I'll re-enter maybe a better entry. Let's see what NQ is doing. Okay, NQ for me, as long as we're in this 15-minute inversion, I'm not going to play around. I'm just going to leave it for a while and just let it do its thing. And I think gold is just a little bit more because we're sort of like, I'm more sure about this level. It's just a little bit more. Ooh, I like it on the 15-minute. Look at that. We just went into a 15-minute. Okay, let's see. I think it's in play still 40-44. I might re-enter. What time is it? Let's see. About 3:30. I wanna the 320 to 3 to 4. The 20 to 40 might be an interesting time to enter as well because that it's not really a macro time, but I do have noticed that we have runs. It doesn't take out the liquidity always at that time, but it does run towards interesting points of liquidity. And then it uses the macro to really get into the in the points, but it does use the time to run. So let's see if we can get another. I have to re-enter because I'm out. I just got out in profit, but I couldn't do the money. I have a little thing that I put on overlay, and that's so cool. And I wish I could have used it already, but not yet because it was not. It's. I'm only going to use it when I hit TP, not when it's just exiting a trade sooner than planned. Even though it's in profit, it doesn't count. We can only use the money gun when analysis and TP are being hit. Only, yeah, that's a good one. I think that's good. Um, I think it's good to observe. Elaine, are you in Europe or other continent than the US that you can also look at London? And I think I saw you for the first time in the US. So But I love being able to be in London session as well because it gives us so much information, right? Yeah, so goal is back into the 4 hour IFUG, which I don't like. And disrespecting the breaker now as well, I think. Let's see. Rejected here, rejected here. Okay. It always sucks when you're it looks bearish, right? If you look now. If I would look at this, it's accumulation. I would see this as manipulation, but I don't think it can be done yet. I just have no. I'm just not convinced. And then we have the distribution to the downside, but I don't know. Not convinced yet. Not convinced. So did anyone listen to ICT Space this weekend? Shotgun Saturday. It was quite interesting. So he mentioned obviously the first presented fair value gap. Oh, by the way, I need to put that on. But also what he said about the morning one, that you have to look for the opposing one, and that I didn't. Um, so I use them in London, and I use them in all sessions. So also the one after midnight, the one after the daily open. Now I just want to double check because of the daylight savings if everything is still correct. Um, on the 1 minute here. Now, what is so not what I love about them, if you look at Nasdaq, right, you've got this manipulation wick to the downside. Now, where does it go to? Exactly into the first presenter. You see that a lot. Mm, Now, you see this on the NQ. This was the liquidity point of that wick. It just did not reach it within 4 points, right? We've got equal highs here on NQ. You don't want to. both NQ and ES gold are for me now. Okay, I'm going to wait. We're back into this 4 hour 30 thing. It's a lot of consolidation, right? Jeez, what did I do here? Now let's have a look at the 4 hour on gold. Good. We've got equal lows here. I'm going to mark those as well. Hey, what are you doing? So 397 are equal. Almost trend line liquidity, not yet. You see this wick here below on the 4 hour. What do we have here? We have a gap here for 114. Wow. Is anyone in that short? That's pretty awesome. That's a nice move. Did we have SMT with silver? Let me check if there was SMT. Um, wow, yeah. We went up. Wow, that's a beautiful move. And so gold hit a daily midpoint, so I think it will definitely give a reaction here. Wow, I mean, it's hard to read because the 4 hour, we went to the midpoint of this 4 hour. Let me see. Okay, let's focus on the 4 hour here. Did we hit the midpoint? Yes, we did. Okay, so we hit the midpoint of the 0.5 of the previous 4 hour. If we're going to stay bullish, we don't want it to go below this point, right? If it goes below the 0.5, it might go to this area. But I don't know. It looks still bullish to me. We've got liquidity here, liquidity here. You know, it's going from high to low to lower. So that is setting itself up for a low resistance liquidity run, right? So we hit the 0.5 here. Let's see if we don't go any lower. That's important. So this fooled me a little bit, to be honest. No, no, it did not fool me because I said I don't want to trade if we are below. This might be a good entry, to be honest. Little soup. Stop here. And then what time is it? 3:30. Okay, this is only a paper trade, guys. I'm not gonna put it. I'm not gonna stop loss here. And then my TP again. This will be my TP. Why? Inversion. We went over it here. Now let's see. I don't want this body to go lower. We hit the 0.5 of the previous 4 hour candle. That's one. Then we created inversion with the displacement at 3:30. So that's 2, 3. That's 3 confluences. I usually enter when I have 4. But I have 3 already. That's why I'm not. I'm a little bit careful. I don't have a losing trade, so I can. But this is. I just don't trust this price action because it needs to go out of this inversion. It needs to go higher, not lower. We hit a daily midpoint, but this is also lurking this way here. I'm only in a paper trade. No, there's no. I haven't put on anything. It looks bearish again. It's just a paper trade. I leave it. Why? Because if I get stopped out, I journal it because that means my either if it was a good stop out, then I journal it just as if I would as it would be a normal trade. But if it doesn't stop me out, I also journal it because then I know, okay, you can trust the stop loss, even though it got a little bit dicey. But technically, in all honesty, when your inversion is disrespected, the trade is already off, right? It doesn't really, you should actually just get out. You shouldn't even be in the trade anymore. But we still have the 0.5, which is respected. So I'm just thinking about the 4 hour candle. If these are two 4 hour candles, right? Is this the third one going to be continuation? So are we now forming the manipulation wick of that 4 hour candle? So that's what I'm just sort of like contemplating, like is going to be a continuation of the Or are we going to just make one to downside to here? Maybe. Could be, right? It's like one of these. So you two candles here and then one, like sort of a seek and destroy then, right? We just go back and forth between wicks. So then we would go somewhere maybe into this wick here. I'm not in a, this is just a paper trade, guys. I'm not in anything, so it's okay if it stops me out. I don't really care. So are we going to maybe go into this area, this wick somewhere here, and then go back up? Um, so something that I really like on Mondays and Tuesdays is if we have if you have NWOGs, new wick opening gaps, you tend to, well, these one are quite close, right? But if we're going to range, you can use those NWOGs as your as levels, and especially the event horizon between them. And we might have one of those Mondays. And even though it's rangy, you can use those levels, and especially it ping pongs between those levels. And normally in New York you can see that a lot. So let's see if we can. And but now we're in and we're in this 4 hour in IFUG, which entails both, right? Let's see. Hey Eugene, how are you doing? I'm eyeing the 3840s this week. Okay, you are bearish. Yeah. 3840. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Thank you for subscribing. For someone subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're almost at 200. We're going for 200 now. It's very exciting. Okay, so okay, so this kind of price action is just, So, I actually said I'm going to be in a trade until we leave this 4 hour, but I'm ready in one real trade and one paper trade again, but that's okay. I'm a woman. I'm allowed to change my mind. That's our birthright. I think we get that right at birth. Um, so let's see. What are you going to do? Let's go to the. I want to see the daily. I need to see the daily. So the daily has been so far bullish, but on the daily we're in this order block. Or can we call it an order block? This is. Let me grade this one here. This body. Where's the body? Okay. The body is above the 50% of this here. Okay, so let's do the higher. Let me just grade the whole bloody thing. Hello, pretty girl. Okay, I want to look at Eugene's level again. Eugene 3840. Let me have a look, Eugene. I know Eugene likes his level. So Eugene, you think we're just going to go down from here? There's no level, there's no move to the upside anymore? 3840 right over here. Yeah, Eugene, I posted in the Discord. I said I'm not interested in any trades on gold until we leave this 4 hour, which is the purple box, the IFUG. And we're back and we just go out a little bit and then we're back in it, right? So yeah, I'm in a paper trade now only on this 4 hour. It's this one here, using this one, and we're just going back and forth. And it also entails two end walks, which are inside of that. So I wouldn't be surprised. It might be an inside, well, an inside day. I don't know how. Maybe even in. What was the week? Let me see. Last week was here. Oh yeah, we're definitely going to be inside. It might even be an inside week this week. Day here. We might get an inside day, but that's okay. Okay, this inversion has been disrespected too many times. So I need to get it off. Do we have one here? Yeah, you need to go off. It's no trade. And Q is in the 15-minute IFUG. Mm, I do think if we go higher, we're going to go into this volume imbalance here on the daily. And then maybe up to here. We do have a breaker retest, guys, on NQ at 339. Yeah, this looks very bullish. Look, we've got liquidity here. This is a trade, but paper trade. Very solid model. I'm not entering anything now. I just wanna let me go over the trade here. Stop loss here. Breaker retest here. Breaker activated, breaker retest. I missed it. And my TP would be this the safe spot, but hold on. Macro fit. Yeah, I got it right over here. It's a 1-to-1. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1. So it wouldn't have my interest. but I wouldn't take it any further from here. Also, we're outside macro. But I think I'm going to eye it and maybe see if we have a break or retest higher, and then maybe up to here. Just a paper. Nothing in it. And midnight is also here, right? So this might also be a. It actually might be better to put it at midnight, I guess, here. There's even less than a 1-to-1, so I would never enter it if I would see this here. I don't know. I don't see. Well, yeah, you've got your inversion here. Retest. Retest. Yeah. Scalp, scalp. I think the 60s areas needs to be purged before go lower, but I will favor shorts a lot this week. Yeah, well, I think so too, but I'm just hoping to get a little bit higher on gold before we go down. So I had that 40-44 level in my mind. But it didn't reach it. Um, still this area here. It's Eugene. It is not very nice price action so far. It's been very wicky and um, high resistance. So I wonder if it has to do with that repo news or just, I don't know. We do have 10 o'clock news, guys, so 10 a.m. Eastern PMI, but the government's still shut down, so I don't really know. No trades for me. This is just a paper trade that I put on. It's just we're still in the 15-minute inversion. For me, it was just break or retest, but if I calculate it from manipulation wick like this, it just gives me 2.5 is here and the 4 is here already. Yes, we could go to 6. Could let's see the macro. It could just let's see how it weeks at midnight, and then we can maybe re-enter in a for a real trade during the macro or just in front. I would like to see it respect here, but and then not get into then retest this first presented. So what I would do on my evaluation, if I would enter this trade, I would wait until it reaches midnight, and then I would like to see a retest of this day. That's the first presented fair value gap of the midnight session. ICT did say, I can't remember. He actually, it's something he actually mentioned before, but he actually mentioned it again on, I believe it was on this shotgun Saturday, that the first range, the opening range from the midnight session, is just as important as the range of the AM opening session. So I always use the first presenter, but this is exactly because we had, as you can see here, it's a 3 minute, but it will give you, you can see here, this is the first presenter for the app after midnight, after it opens. So for me, I would love to see this retested. Now, what could happen? It could just run from here. And that's okay, because then you'll get a retest later today. If I'm going to miss that, I'm going to miss it, because I really need a retest of something before I enter on in a day like on price action like this. I just cannot enter like this. Here, I would not enter here with this wicks. I mean, yeah, I could, but it's just, this was an inversion. We have one retest here outside macro, another retest here outside macro. And now we're near midnight, and let's see if it touches midnight in the macro. Most likely it will do now or at 50, 350 or 340. Yeah, it's 350 now, so here we go. Let's see. Boom, in macro, that's okay. So now you don't expect it to, there we go, exactly in the, when the start of the macro. Now let's see what it does. DXY is bullish. Okay, I haven't checked it. Okay. Yeah, hey, that's because of the, I guess, of the influx of liquidity. How much was it? 15 billion? A trillion? Okay, now let's see. It's a beautiful 1 hour candle, right? Here. Okay, so another breaker has been activated right here. No retest. You can see this is all engineered liquidity, right? So if you do see a scenario like this, the only way to actually get into these trades, I wouldn't take it higher than this, because for one, you've got the 4, but also you just don't know what's going to do. But I'm always with these scenarios, you really have to enter outside breaker. and then you know it's really high resistance if you like it. If you're up to it. Okay, I'm gonna take this one off here. We might run all the way to 6. Um, Gold is just consolidating again. It's still in that bloody 4-hour IFUG. I'm really going to keep my word now. I'm not going to enter it anymore until it really left the area, and then I'll reassess. I had a winning. I mean, I'm still. I mean, how much am I up today? I'm up $80. I mean, that's it's still for London. It's good. I mean, we are still happy with that. Um, and this is just hard to for me to really trade now. Um, so technically, if you look at the 5, right, you see the first blended value gap London. You could also use that as an entry, then retest and another retest on this candle, the 341. But then again, to where, right? I mean, you've got a bearish fair value gap here. So if you would enter it here, you would know you could enter a place of resistance where it could go back down again. So how much would that trade? They're all too little for me to take. I'm not interested in trades under 30 points on a Q. So it's really still be interesting, but the 1 minute inversion was here and this one here. So let's see. Maybe we can get a retest of something. When price action is like this, patience is always rewarded. Hello, Krupanshu. How are you? How's it going? How are you doing? We are encountering some high resistance on both ES and Q. So 29 billion. Okay, gotcha. Uh-uh. What do you? Uh-uh. A pretty girl. Oh, I see someone else subscribed. Thank you. I'm very excited when I see that, to be honest, because the 200 is so close. So they said once you're at 200, YouTube considers you, because I'm just starting, or I just started is it 2 months ago? So YouTube doesn't know, what to do with your channel, and they don't know, the algo just doesn't know. But they say if you are at 200 and you show consistency with showing up, then it sort of like sees you as a solid channel, and it will push you a little bit more. So 200 is sort of a milestone. Well, 100, everything is a milestone, but apparently 200 really is, because then it takes you, you're considered more to be more serious. Let me put it that way. So, yeah, YouTube, I am serious. I'm very serious about this. And we are in very. I mean, Eugene and I, we had a talk this weekend as well, and you know, I think if you really stick around and be around and not trade and just watch the markets, if you learn these difficult markets, I think we are very fortunate to be able to do that, and it really will help us when things get easier, um, to gain so much knowledge, and then everything will be so much easier. Um, but just stick around and not be okay with not trading and just watching price action and go into the more detailed stuff. And I think once if you do that, and I think you'll be very happy, and you will be able to analyze the market, especially when there's times of when difficult times come again. You will recognize them sooner. I mean, I'm, I'm, I'm thinking now when I see little things happen, like when I mentioned the 250 macro, was it 250 macro? How it started? Just by looking into the behavior, and especially on NQ, because I've been very close with NQ for 3 years, um, it really helps. And for me now, I've gotten to a point, I guess, that I really don't mind being in. Oh, obviously, oh, okay, I made 80 bucks, so it's sort of like, you know, there is something. But even though if I did not, I still will be okay. And I also thought, oh, if I'm on stream, will I be nervous not to be in a trade? Um, I do try to trade on stream, but if there's really nothing, I'm not going to do it. Or I just put on a paper trade, and I'm always very transparent about that. Um, but I think it's important also to be able to not to trade, right? I think that's especially in these times. Um, for me, being impatient is one of my biggest, is really something I needed to work on, and I'm still working on, to be honest. So, but I'm last week I did really well, I think. So I'm really growing in that aspect. Yeah. And like Eugene, you said it right. The lesser you trade, the more money eventually we make, because it's just we rule out the bad trades. But anyway, I guess we all have our. I think. Um, yeah, that's my little pitfall sometimes. But I don't blow up accounts or my funded like I used to, and I was when I started out. That doesn't happen. But you can, your profit target can get much higher if you rule out let me call it the impatient trades. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Now in Q, I am it looks like we're just going to go up. But then again, this is the same that what happened with the gold trade, right? It stalls, and yeah, it just doesn't go up in one way. Um, did anyone have a good trade on anything on a gold or in Q? Are you asking me for my income, Eugene? RI stands for residual income, right? Or am I misunderstanding the question? Oh, look at it going. I'm not in the trade, but hello, Shafiq. I'm just wondering if I Eugene, I will post my my wins and losses in the on the discords, but I don't feel comfortable talking about amounts like what I made over all my accounts and my personal account as well. But I will start posting my winning and my losing trades. I think that's more important. I don't feel comfortable about talking about incomes and stuff like that because I don't think it really helps anyone as well. Um, but I think it will help just, while we started the Discord and we have the profit and win to, I mean, I'm also against, to be honest, in the Discord, Eugene, because we should talk about that a little bit. If people want that, I'm fine with it. No, no, Gigi, go. Like who makes the most profit, like a leaderboard. I've always been against that in a way because I don't think that really helps people. And it to talk about like amounts of money because I don't think that really helps. But I do think it helps posting winning and losing trades because that's where we learn from. But especially being on YouTube, talking about how much I make, um, all in the open, it sort of makes me a little bit uncomfortable, if I may say so. But showing my losses and my wins across the board, and I have no problem being transparent about that. But talking about like what I really like, what my income is, and what I make of trading overall, and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it just makes me a little bit uncomfortable, Eugene. Hope you understand that. You have to be I mean, you have to be careful, especially when you're out on in the open. I can people, they can have an idea at some point, but then again, it's all guess. Hey, you know, I mean, I live on my trading, but just talking numbers, how does it help anyone? It doesn't help anyone. But October, the only thing that I can share, what I feel, October was not a good month for me. If I compare it to other months, it was challenging. I was still, I still ended green, but it was not as green as other months. But um, October, I think my last 3 months have been very, I mean, not as, I've been struggling a little bit. and just trade. Like I said, I've traded less, um, but that's okay. I don't mind, because the markets have been challenging. I mean, for me, I mean, um, and I'm getting better staying out. So, but anyway, listen, we did miss a good trade in on NQ, but then again, was it like, yeah, the setup was there, right? Percentage wise. Well, I do want to elaborate on that. Yeah. So if people ask you about what's your win rate as well, it's like, okay, if I tell you my win rate is between 50 and 60%, that still doesn't tell anything, right? Because you don't know how I trade. I could have, maybe one good trade per month. That is my, because I have I'm a distribution trader. That also doesn't really give a lot of information. I just, for me, it's like, okay, yes, I've always had return on, most of the time I've got return on investments, but my win rate doesn't really tell anybody, doesn't give them insight, because it can vary between 50 and 80%, but then what does it tell someone? How do I trade? If I have one large distribution move, which gives me my 13R trade, right? Like our gold trade, remember that one? And the rest I have a lot of smaller ones that I miss, but I still have my 1R, my 13R trade, and I could still have 50% and still have an awesome month. So it doesn't give any insight, right? To be honest, because I was thinking, I was first interested in that as well, but it doesn't really tell anybody anything unless they trade the same way like I do. So October, for example, remember, Eugene, we had this, hey, Mether, we had that really good gold trade, right? Um, that was quite that was 120 points on gold. I had micro golds, but I think that was a 13R or 14R trade for me. I have to go back into again. Um, I guess that was one of my best. I guess that was the best trade in October. Um, and I had a few other trades, but that was the main. That was the one that really stood out. I didn't have anyone after that. That was the best one. Mether C, how are you doing? Did you trade anything? Did you have any trades already? It's a little bit frustrating to let all these trades go. The setup in NQ is there, but it's just, I just, yeah, you took yeah, I took a stab at gold. I got out early and I made 80 bucks on it today, but I got out and then it went down and I'm watching NQ now go. Eugene, no trade today. No, we have to be patient, Eugene, and we're practicing, and we're good at this, and that's why we have each other here, and we have all helping stay patient and waiting for A plus setup. And when things go not our way, we just get out, right? Um, and again, guys, the only thing that I want to go back to that gold trade and to show you that you know, for me, it's like if I get out early, but if I, even though when it will be a losing trade, let's go back to the gold and what I mentioned, right? What made me doubt the trade? Let's go back. The 250. Anyone who starts, who is also into time and like looking for those little things of the algorithmic signatures, again, start looking at when the macro starts. Let's say there is nothing before, well, this is it starts running at 248, right? So you know the macro is starting at 250, but you have already 1, 2, 3 up close candles, and it starts at 248. And the 249 and the 250 are up close and you're bullish. The first thing I said, oh, I don't like that, right? Because normally what I want to see when I'm bullish and I have already a higher time frame PDRA above me, which was at 4044 level, but if I said it, I said, oh, I don't like it, but you know what, I'm in already. I have already taken one off. I let the one run, but here you go, it went up a little bit and then it did not even make it started at 248. It did not even go up to 8 past. So that's also a very important time, because the 3 past and the 8 past, because sometimes it turns at 3 past already or at the 8 past. And here it goes up, up. And what do you have? You have a down close candle at 3 past 3. But then it gave 2 more candles, which confused me because I was like, okay, if I saw it already go down, I would have my confirmation that the move was over. So, but I saw again, oh, we go up again. You know what? I might stay in because it might still run, but it did not. And here we had the larger candle to the downside, 3 past 6, and then, well, and here it just went into it and it went down, right? So this actually would have been a good entry for the downside. But then again, you know, you see it goes back up again here. But I'm just saying the macro already, this little bit here gave me some information already that we might not get the run that I was looking for. Just because this how it hit, and then we at 6 past already got the larger down close, then you already know the macro is already, if you're bullish, it's over. You're not going to get any higher than this anymore, right? So I think, you know, that I love to look at these things, and that's how I journal. I really go into the times and look, okay, how did it behave? Yeah, so, and then it had a nice move to the downside. Now I didn't see that one coming, to be honest, but then again it went back up here at 3. Now we were not looking at gold, right, at this time. Let's go over this macro. 350 consolidation, I like that. Consolidation, and then 3 past 4, very important time, then you get the run up to 3 o'clock. So when you have a macro, when you have a part of the macro that is consolidating, that's always a good sign. Or not always, a lot of the times, because you consolidate 350, 350, then at 358, again at the 8, you have a move up, then you have a little bit of, and then 3 past, you get the last move. So after consolidation, write that down, guys. The 3 past the hour initiates a lot of the times the run, but then you have to have consolidation before. But then again, how long, how far? Okay, it was 10 points. I mean, that's still a micro goal, $100, right? Francis, he was on Friday. He was on our on the stream, and he actually he elaborated on the 3 o'clock. He says, look for the 3 o'clock, and the manipulation moves to the downside, and then it trades back to it. And we see it exactly happen. You move away from the 3 o'clock, right over here, and then what time is this? 3:12. You have away, and then at you get back to it an hour later. It's all the cycles are all fractal, and they're all mini market maker buy sell models. So this could have been so a small scalp, I guess. Well, 10 points. It's not really a scalp on, but yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, sometimes I do scalp, but I try not to do it on stream too much because I don't really like it too much. Um, but all these little things are all the information. But yeah, I just want to touch on the behavior of macros a little bit because um, sometimes that's all we have, right? You need some benchmark to trade off. And for me, time. I mean, I need my time and my confluences. But hey, listen, I'll tell you one thing. If we have this kind of price action all week, and some point you do want to trade, you are looking for maybe, well, it's a B plus setup. It's just not my large distribution move. But then I do get into smaller trades and have more confidence. Like, okay, we've been acting like this for a while. And for example, if we ping pong between two NWOGs, I take smaller trades as well because then I know what to look for. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on the macro trends and behavior a little bit. I hope that just some information that might help. We get 1% better a day, right? Yeah. There is some UK news, right? GBP news. Let's watch that. What time is that? I think 4:30. We have some manufacturing PMI. Let's see if it gives any reaction, and then I think we'll call it, and then we'll go back into um, so, and what was this level again that I can't remember. Was it a 4 hour? Oh yeah, here. So guys, mark the no, what was it? Sell side liquidity. What did I mark there? I can't remember. Was it a 1 hour? What did I mark? Was it daily? I don't know what I marked. Might be wrong. Um, this is a little bit frustrating because I've marked this area already on NQ 170. I think it's going to go there now. Wow, look at this, guys. This is a beautiful V-shaped recovery. Yeah, three manipulation move, 310, boom. 3 o'clock. I'm a little bit annoyed that I missed the NQ move, to be honest, even though it was high resistance, because um, I am annoyed with this, to be honest. I put it in the Discord. I said, okay, if we're going to stay bearish, we have to stay below. We cannot go below the 50% of the weekly premium wick, which is right over here. But drawn liquidity for me was this 26,171. I put it in the Discord early this morning. I really think it's going to go to this level here. And from that on moment, I said then we reassess, because even though we go down, we have to go up a little bit higher to go down. So this area has my interest already. So I'm annoyed that I missed. Well, there is no. and you know, on the 4 hour here, we already had information. We went to the N wall. We resisted here, which you can see right over here. We go out, we get in, we retest here, we retest again at 3 o'clock. This is a retest of the N walk. Change and save delivery right over here on the 5 minute. This is your CISD right over here. And if this is not one, you use this one, and then you have this wick here into it, 320. What did I say? The 320 to 340 can give you the move, not into the yeah, I was on the 1 minute. If I was on the 5 minute, it would be more clear, I guess. The only thing that is a little bit is that there is a body that went below it. So it is not easy, because there is a body going a little bit below it here. That was also what we saw on the inversion, right? We had a body going below it, and then it went back up again. It was invalid. That was exactly this area here. This one here and here happened the same. It's not easy, but it was there. But I think this is a valid point, the 170. We might reject here first. We might get an entry, guys. I'm interested, because I'm like, okay, let's see if we get a rejection here, and that might give us an entry for that last bit. Okay, let's see if we can get to here or here. 115, like get a rejection, and then to this volume imbalance. 156. Look at this beautiful move. Wow. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. You know, it doesn't matter if you learn from like, okay, what did I miss? How could I get in? Because especially now, I noticed last week as well, and that's something in October, like if your macros are not giving you your retest, you have to look at different things, right? And then you have to sit. Wow, you've got some army planes going by. I don't know if you could hear that. Um, um, yeah, and you know, it is sort of like different behavior that you actually normally trade off. But then, if you look into it and you journal it, and then you just have to have different points of entry, I guess. But then you have to zoom out instead of and zoom out at the right time. And again, I'm just thinking about that. Was there SMT? Let's check quickly, right? Because it's all about SM. The only thing that is valid on these moments that really would um, give you a solid trade is having SMT. So let's quickly look at the NQ with the ES, because I didn't look at that. And that is the thing I always tend to forget. Let's look here. It's 245, because we need some SMT in this area here, between 245 and 3-ish. Now let's have a look. Look here, guys. Here we go. Are you on? Am I on this? Here we go. This way. 245 and 3. That was the moment. And the only thing confusing then was this little thing here. Remember that was that inversion that I was looking at? Yeah, it was all there. It was there. It was there. It was there. Here we go. This way. And then if you would have had this SMT, but you've got this place going right over it, also going through the daily open, right? So you have your confirmation, as you can see here now. Well, this is ES though, but if you would trade ES, you've got displacement through the daily open, then a retest of the daily weekly open, exactly right over here. So you can, if you missed this, you have a retest of this is also valid. But they're all out of macro, so that's something also I'm trying now to get better in, to enter. Let's see if we go here on the 15. So this was the moment of S&T with the S, right? And we had the daily open here, your retest right over here on the 15. And that was also on the 5 minute, I think, yeah. Through it. Now this one was at 10 past. Okay, let's see if we can get yeah, okay, we've got the we've hit the level now. Yeah, exactly. Now we should get a move to the downside now. And then let's see if we can get a nice trade to the upside. So this whole week there's been no rejection whatsoever for him in balance. So I would like to see it go all the way up here and then reassess if we're bearish or bullish. I just love tape reading, guys. Even though I'm not in a trade, I can get annoyed, but I'm like, if I see it and then you go over it and the logic is there and like, okay, I missed the S&T. I wasn't zoomed out enough on, and obviously going back and forth with gold sometimes is a little bit confusing for me as well. Not confusing, but then I just missed a good entry because I'm just not. But it's sort of like going having two now. You know, I've been together with NQ for 3 years. It's just NQ. It was very easy, and but now it's just having to look at two things. But hey, we're just starting, right? It's all okay. And like Alan said, you know, there's always another bus coming, and it's better to miss one and not have any losing trades than and you know, all this intel that we're gathering is all going to help us in the AM session. Now let's see how far down are we going to go. I think it might be a good trade all the way, well, at least 10 points, right? There's always another bus coming. Yep, that's so true. And again, but that's again the thing that I am, that's the impatience that I have sometimes. Um, that's why I get annoyed a little bit. But it always shows, right? I cannot hide it. There's no hiding. Yeah. Okay, 36. Yeah, I'm definitely. This is my interest. And oh, let me see if. Oh, look at that, guys. Oh, I love it. This first presented fair value gap lines up exactly with my volume imbalance of the daily. So this yellow volume imbalance here is a daily volume imbalance. And let me go to 1 minute here. Okay, you see it changes, right? If you change your times, but on the 3 minute, oh, also at the top is exactly the beginning of the, and we've got some wicks here as well, which is liquidity, but not at, it's not going to be liquidity straight away. It's going to reject most likely halfway through, but let's see if that is also a little bit of a confluence. What's the midpoint? Oh, look at that, guys. I should take this one. 167. Oh, I did not do it correctly. Hold on. Hold on. Let's take the longest wick. We just want to make sure that it's calculated correctly. One six eight. Okay. Hello, Sarab. No, I don't. I use silver for gold diversion. I actually don't look at the pairs, to be honest. I just use the for gold the silver, and for uh, NQ I only look at ES nowadays. I used to look at YM as well, but I don't do that anymore. Um, but yeah, so I'm not doing that any. But yeah, I'm already, you know, for me it's just those four things are, I try to manage that as best, and I just missed the SMT on NQ, which is a little bit annoying because I was pointed out that also on Friday by someone that I missed it as well, but it's something that I really need to, but I don't want it on my chart because then you get too many things. But like every quarter, I have a half hour, And on the whole hour, it's something that you really need to look into, and especially when you have price action like this on, like for example, NQ. But yeah, hey, 1% better a day, right? So you said there's 1 hour bearish fair value gap above, but that should be on the gold then as well, I would presume. If we look at XAU, let me quickly have a look. Yeah, I'm just really not interested in gold as well as with this purple box, and that is the 4 hour IFUG. And for me, I just have no interest until we're out of that. To be honest, it's just wicks, and it might go to the downside to this area here. That then I will be interested. The moment it starts getting out here and it rejects in this area, I'd be interested to trade again. And then I would trade it in the direction of, I would use the NWOGs and the midpoints of the NWOGs. So I see there's displacement coming now. But it really, I'm going to set an alert here on this level, 396, 3996, and then I might be interested again. But for now, I'm just staying out, but it looks like we're going to go to the downside. But let's have a look at NQ, because NQ is coming to my level. Um, so we rejected our old daily open. This was just Friday's daily open, and you see it's still it's valid, right? Yeah, I definitely think we are going into in the direction of that volume, daily volume imbalance. So um, again, it will most likely hit it in during the macro. So we're just running. Um, the entry should have been here or here, and maybe even here at the 4 a.m. The retest of the 4 o'clock, retest of the 3 o'clock, midnight. There were valid points, but they were not in the macro. But you have to enter outside macro. Something I'm working on as well. Not only my retest of a breaker and the retest of the you know, the usual, the I call it the easy trading, but it has been easy for most of the times, right? And but price action is different now, so you have to adjust and you have to really learn how to navigate the different markets. But hey, we live in very special times. Being able to navigate this and learn without having our put on our own money and using the evaluations and stuff like that. So I think we are very lucky to be able to do so. And once things get easier, hey man, if you sit through these times and we take read together and we just learn and we evaluate, you know, we evolve. When times get easier again, we're gonna, you know, it's this. I think these are the times that shapes a trader, and this is where we grow most in the difficult times. So I'm embracing it with every beam of my being. I love it. And also for me, working on my impatience. And God, you will see when I get impatient, I cannot hide it. I cannot hide it. Um, So even though like I'm you know you have sort of like, okay, you know it's here, you want to enter, but you don't have a solid setup because either it's no retest of an area here that I look for. Um, Hey, Sarab. So I just started a Discord, and especially for that. And what I did is, if you start with I think everyone who is interested in ICT should start with the core content. But what I did, I can go over I deleted a few months of, I think you start with core content, and then I would start with month 1 to 4. That's a sure thing. And then also 5. And then I deleted a few, but let me go over. I need to check in the Discord. But I am going to make a list for, especially for beginners, because I know it's overwhelming. When you go to ICT sites, it's really overwhelming because there's so much, right? But 1 to 5, and then I have to quickly double check for you. Hold on. But I'm going to, because we just opened the Discord thanks to Eugene. There wouldn't be a Discord without him, because I would not have been able to work out all those rules and those permissions and stuff like that. So thank you again, Eugene, if you're still here. Um, but I am populating, and the ICT beginner stuff is there. But let me quickly have a look. So I would definitely month 1 to 5, and then 8 and 12. Those are the most significant ones for the core content. There are 12 of them, but there's a lot of other ones that goes over bonds and stuff. You can always do that later on, but just getting to 1 to 5 and then 8 and 12, that will give you the basics. And then obviously there are 2022, and then the 23 mentorship and 24. But what he's doing now is very interesting. What he is revealing now and what he is. Oh, is my Discord link invalid? Oh, could be, because then either. Let me just put a new one in. Hold on. Let me do a new one. Then it is not valid. Okay. Could be that time has passed or something. I have to create a new one. Let me do that quickly for you. And then again, I go over, I use the rejection blocks a lot. So if you are here, you'll see me um, rejection block breaker, and, try to go over some basics during the streams, especially when there's nothing to do. I'm always asking, is there something you want me to go over? But I'm also still learning. I mean, there's so much to learn, right? Yeah, I used to do that, by the way, but let me quickly do that. Um, I have to make a new invitation link. How do I make a new invitation link? Invite people, server settings, invite people, here we go, copy. It should be in my description, but I need to update it because it's not valid anymore. So thank you, pin message. Please check it, Sarab, and let me know if it works. Okay, good. Yeah. So we just started. It's just more also for us to be able to communicate outside YouTube. So it's still ongoing, and you guys are the OGs, and it's all about, just getting it started and just being able to communicate a little bit more outside. So it's just it's just a structure and ICT, and then I will populate it as well after. But before you're done with the month one to 5, 8, and 12, there'll be the next steps will be there. Don't worry, we'll get you there. And welcome to the family. Thank you. It's really such a nice group of people already. I'm honestly, I'm not on social media. I'm actually not really into that, but I really love the energy what we have already so far. So yeah, so Rob, let me know if you have any specific questions. You know, that's what it's for. Eugene is very knowledgeable as well, trading wise, Discord wise, and he's always very eager to help as well. So okay, let's have a look. So we are rejecting here, but so and also Sarab, feel free to introduce, just put a few words, who you are, where you at in your journey, and also feel free to post anything of your charts if you're comfortable with that. I also have I made all tabs for forex, for gold, anything, just so we can look at each other's charts and learn from it as well. Okay, okay, okay. Now let's have a look at GC again. Okay, oh, we got one more macro, and then, okay, let's go. Let's quickly have a look. Let's quickly have a look at this macro. GC, are you still, okay, GC is still in this body 4-hour box. So as you can see, I want to point out on GC as well. The midpoint is the event horizon between these two walks, right? I'll go to the lower time frame a little bit. So what will be interesting today on in the AM session, I might start taking trains. I call it ping pong Monday and Tuesday, and we haven't had that for a while. So I'm quite excited because if we have an inside day, for example, and it will be on gold, and even though if we stay in this purple box, if we are getting price action between these levels here and you see with event horizon, I might, that will give us some trade setups, but it's a very small range to be honest. But on gold, it's still 5 points. We'll have a look. Um, it could be that it's going to range between this area for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to get that. I'm hoping it might go into the area so that it leaves the purple box, and then let's see what happens. It might reject and then go back, and then it might do some consolidation here. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. But then again, gold for me is off limits now because it's just a horrible area. It's just horrible. Yuck. Yeah. So for the I really want to watch this um, macro to see how it's going to behave and if it goes into this area during the macro. So either a retest of something, and let's see. We've got a midnight of Friday. Those are also valid. There are still liquidity points, right? Even though it was Friday's midnight. we retested midnight right over here, today's midnight, and yesterday's right over here. A little bit higher though, but I think for now we have to be sort of like okay when it gets into this area, maybe here, somewhere in this area max. So well, let's see if we can get a good, yeah, let's see if we can get an entry on this, if the macro gives something, and then I think I will leave it at that for the London session. And then we'll be back today in the New York session again. And so Rob, something I do want to touch on studying with ICT. I think everybody should go through the core content, even though the videos can be somewhat long and he talks a lot, but that is something you really, the core content is is the basics. And then from there on, everything will get easier. And then there are, let me put it that way. I'm not a fan of saying shortcuts, but there are shortcuts because I have gone through a lot of his stuff, and actually I've gone through core content twice and also 2022, but there are shortcuts. But I do think the core content, the month that I put in the Discord, you have to go through them, and from that moment on, my purpose is to also help people navigate the ICT things a little bit faster and go through the topics to speed up your learning curve with ICT. So let me just try to give some hope for the people that want to study ICT. Yes, it's a lot, it's overwhelming, but after the core content, there are shortcuts because people that have gone through it, and he does reiterate on some topics a little bit more, and especially during what he's doing now, he's lifting the veil and he's making things a little bit easier. On his last video. So I think at some point you can even skip some and go backwards, but that's not until you've done the core content. So yeah, that's something I really want to point out. So it will get better, but you have to do it. You cannot be lazy, you have to do it. But once you've done that and you've got the basics, and hey, listen, Sarab, when you go into your charts and you see some things, you'll get very excited. So I just wanted to say that. Okay, let's have a look now because I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. And again, guys, what I said about the gold trade, right? About how, oh, hold on. I want to go to the 1 minute. I want to go over the macro, how the macro started. So if you're bullish, you want to see down close candles, 449. This should, now the only thing I don't like is that we did not really retested anything. Not that I'm seeing, but again, I like the down close candles when I'm bearish, bullish. 450. Now you can always divide the macro in half sometimes, right? The first part can be to the downside, and then the second part could be, but it could also just go down for a while and then go up later into this area. I don't trust it. I don't feel comfortable, but there's not really a higher time PDRA around here. So for me, I'm just gonna let it do its thing. And but looking at the macro behavior of the macro, I wouldn't be surprised if we are turning here and going upside, because this is how the also time-wise 4:58. What time did we start the move down? 4:50. 4:48 was a down close candle. Down close candle, down close candle, 4:57. 4:58 to the upside. Engulf this. Mm. It's I would say low probability entry wise, but obviously it's a beautiful move. 4:32. Yeah, higher time. There's a higher time frame PD array, so I'm there's nothing for me. There's no lower time frame PD array for me for it to go to. So I'm bullish on the trade, but I'm not interested in playing it. I think at this area we're going to. But then again, look at this. This also it could go further down. We've got a gap here. We've got a gap here. So there are lower time frame, a higher time frame PD arrays. Breaker. Where's my? There are, but I don't. 15 and the 1 hour. Let me check the 1 hour quickly. Is it a breaker? No, it's not a breaker. Why is it not a breaker? There was no low, there was no lower low here. So technically it's not a breaker, it's a mitigation block. But you still want it retested, right? But where's the retest? Did it touch here? Okay, so this is interesting. Did we miss it? So see, it's really hard. The high, 26,123. The low, 26,123.50. No. Okay, so there's no retest. There's 2 points, 2 ticks between here. So it's very hard to. And yes, also we have a long wick again. So what we're gonna get, Okay. So this is why I don't like it. So what is long wick? Is manipulation. A wick is a gap. Now, is this liquidity already? Because we need this to be liquidity to get here, right? What is it now? It's a rejection block, so it means it will price will go into this area and reject 1 or 2 times, sometimes even 3 times, could be. But at least on the 1 hour, we could see rejection here 1 or 2 times using either a quarter or a 1/3 level. So for me now, this area is not, I mean, we're not going to get there in this macro. Because the 5 o'clock stopped here and we have a new, we went down, right, into this wick. So question is, what are we going to do? Are we going to mitigate price and get into this area here? But are we going to hit one of the levels first before we go down? Do we have a 4-hour rejection block? Okay, we're still forming the 4 hour, right? Until 6 o'clock we are creating the 4 hour. But for me, it's already, now I already know this macro, we are for sure not going to hit this area. Why? Because this potential rejection block. And the wick, long wicks, are rejection blocks before they become liquidity. Right? The high is not liquidity until it has did its function as a rejection block. It's actually very simple. But annoying. If you have a lot of wicks, you have a lot. That's why you have a lot of back and forth when you have a lot of wicks, because it's the rejection. So now you'll see a move up most likely, or just a spike up to either the 75%, and then it most likely either will go down. Let's see if that happens. Let's see where it stops. And then at 6 o'clock, we'll get a new 4-hour candle. And then, let's see, what's the 4-hour? We might get a continuation to the upside. That looks very, I think we might get a 4-hour continuation to this area here. But that's from 4 to, that's then from 6 to 10, right? The Eastern time. But let's see if price gets into, I want to see if price makes it to one of these levels here and then rejects to the downside. Let's see. We've got 3 more minutes. So that's how you also can use macros, right? So even though it doesn't do anything, you can also see, okay, if it's, is it going to a level in a rejection block so that it's, the function of a rejection block is sort of like initiated. Oh, we did actually. I was not calculating it correctly. See here? I need to do it correctly. Here you go. Now, we still have a few points to go. So that's how I also use the macros. Because I want, now, okay, you know, if you're not going to go up, I want you to go down here. Like, if you're not going to go here, I want you to jump here, and then you go do something else, and then you make your move back up, and then I might be ready to take it properly. So let's see if this action here, we want to see 136.25. Oh, welcome, Sarab. I am a nerd, and I really get into the exactly in the logic behind every move, and that's why I'm still learning. And because I've added more time elements to it. So welcome. You're at the right spot. We've got another few nerds here that also are loving the nitty gritty of it, because everybody knows the fair value gap, everybody knows the order block, everybody knows the basics, but it's the deeper understanding that makes it more interesting. Hey MJ, my overall bias, and Q is up to go down. For today, for let's say for now until, as you can see on my screen, I've got a few. I wanted to see NQ go into the volume imbalance of the daily and maybe even higher to go down further. But gold is a little bit a tricky one for me at the moment, because I don't know if you trade gold, but I'll go over gold quickly. But I want NQ now. I wanted to, we're in this large wick, which I consider to be a rejection block for now, but hey, it could sometimes just blast through it. But most of the times you will see it stop somewhere here. And then I wanted to see it go a little bit lower, to go up again. And then we have to reassess if how bullish is going to be in this area here. But really, for me, it will give me a lot of information when we get to this area here. Now, I prefer it to see, I want to see some kind of rejection here. But hey, it could just blast through it. But then you want to know, when you go over 50%, we know, okay, now it's really bullish. It's not even, this is not a rejection block anymore. It's going to go through it. Then you know, okay, this is play now, this area here. So that is a key for now. And gold is pretty annoying. Why? Because we're in a very tricky area, and it was already last Friday. I was already not interested in gold. It's in this 4-hour inversion. And you see how it's going back and forth. The bodies are staying inside. The wick are just going out the 4-hour. And we've got two angles inside the area. So for me to be interested, I wanted to see it go down in this area and rejection, and then perhaps reject from here, maybe go back up into this area, but we have to see how it reacts when it comes here. So on gold, I find it really difficult to say. Eugene is bearish. He already mentioned somewhere this area. But I just need to see, because I see these wicks here and I'm like, that is low resistance liquidity. So I'm thinking either going here to go up and then down. But I'm definitely also, I agree with Eugene, but I would love to see it go a little bit higher first. So gold for me now is down, up, down, and Q is, well, up to go down. So up, go down to go up. No, I'm wrong. Yeah. Let's see. I didn't see how it react. I wanted to see reject here. But this is very hard to trade now, MJ, to be honest. Look at the price section, right? You see this is all high resistance. It was a beautiful move on NQ, by the way. There was SMT here at the lows. This would be the entry, really, because there was SMT. And there were a few retests of the day open here. There was a retest of the 3 a.m. open. There was a retest of the 4 a.m. and of the midnight. So it wasn't your regular breaker retest. It was really the time retests, which really would have been the game to play. But yeah, I was looking for a breaker retest and inversion, and the inversions was disrespected a little bit. But then again, and everything, all the retests are outside of macro time. So also that is something that is different then, right? So, but yeah, hey, it's just journal it and go over them and see the differences, and then at some point, what's interesting here, I like this. These are flat. Look at these 3 little flat bottom pit. They're so cute, but that means there is lack of manipulation here. Right over here. Let me go to the 5 minute, see if we have it on the 5 minute. Oh, hold on. No, not on the 3 minute, maybe. No. 107. 107. Okay. Now this level has my interest. Why? Because we got 3 1 minute. Well, actually there are only 2 of them. But it's lack of manipulation. And it's near this blue, it's in the blue zone that I highlighted right over here. So this would be an area of my interest if it goes down, because there's no manipulation and there is a 5 minute bullish fair value gap here. So yeah, so now you see it go down, right? Now why is it going down? Because of this rejection block. You wanted to see it function as a rejection block, but we'll see if it really. It could also just stall a little bit here and just move around, consolidate, and still go up then to 50%. I think we're going to get a nice continue in the 6 a.m. I think we're going to get a continuation of the 4-hour candle. Um, yeah, I think we're going to get a nice continuation. Unless this 4-hour candle gets into this zone, this range, then we might not. If we, that's the only thing I'm thinking about. Um, oh, okay, you don't trade gold. I just wanted to, I needed to see what's going on anyway. So, but I'll remember that, MJ. Oh, so I didn't know that you just started futures 2 months ago. That's actually quite short. Do you like it so far? I mean, I fell in love with futures. I mean, and it's all, and especially when you just focus on one, you get to know the levels really, really well. And I've been on NQ only for 3 years, only NQ. And but I must say, gold is pretty clean. Um, Gold is okay. I mean, it's still good enough. We love it. But hey, NQ is still, I guess, we'll always get back to NQ, and NQ will still be, yeah. But I didn't know you were in only for 2 months. That means when you joined me, because you were also one of my first subscribers, and you just really started with your NQ journey. Yeah. But MJ, I would love to Um, well, yeah, I would love to. I think we did talk about the cryptos part, but I'm really curious about the levels of crypto, um, the difference. But you can elaborate maybe at some point, not now, but maybe we can do that in the Discord. Maybe because I'm looking for people that know have been trading both that can tell me because I'm a long-term investor in crypto, but I do want to go over maybe some, just over price action and stuff like that without even trading it on a daily basis, but applying all the levels and especially the time-based levels that I'm wondering because obviously crypto is 24/7 actively in the weekends as well. I'm actually looking for um, yeah, for someone to point out some differences because obviously I can figure it out, but I would rather focus on this. But we'll talk about that another time. I might get back to you on that one. Have you been applying ICT on crypto? Let me ask you that. ICT logic and time. Oh, guy, I see I've got 195 subscribers. That means I'm 5 away from 200. That is really exciting. I don't care about the numbers. Let me get one thing. I care about the quality and also the people that are joining are exactly like-minded. But like I said, 200 is important for apparently for Discord for YouTube because then they consider you a serious channel. Until that, they don't know what to do with you apparently. So that's why I'm interested. But hey, we don't want people that do not fit in. Like-minded people. So just saying. Okay. Okay, guys. So I think I'm gonna. I started ICT. Oh, you also started ICT. Okay, so you are still very. Okay, good. So MJ, I know it's overwhelming, but if you have any questions, let me know. Um, There are some shortcuts after core content is done, but core content is the basis, and that is something that people need to go through. But there are shortcuts. I think so. For everything that has been put out there, and for the nerds like myself and the other ones that are in our Discord or in our are on the channel, I think it's at some point you can really point out to specifics that really give the essence of what is being taught. But yeah, just saying. Okay, guys, it's not really rejecting in that level in the yet, so I'm quite curious. Hey, Dottie, hello, hello, how are you doing? Nice to see you. We'll be back in New York session, and yeah, this girl is gonna go for a little bit of I need to do some exercise. Going to the beach, doing my morning, or it's not morning anymore. It's what time is it here? I don't know, but it doesn't really matter. So we have the daylight saving times now. And Jinka, wow, that's a beautiful name. Hello there. How are you doing? That's a beautiful name. Where is that from? So I guess the lesson of today is patience again, and looking at even though the move to the upside on NQ was, looking if SMT was applied. Yes, and Jinka, I'm doing great myself. I had a wonderful session again. Working on patience. I missed the NQ was there was SMT right over here. Especially at 2:45 and 3 o'clock, because SMT, you don't have to look at SMT the whole hour. And most of the times you would look at the quarter, half an hour, and on the hour, right? And especially on those, I look at 15-minute SMT because I found that the most valuable. But there was definitely, I'll show you guys here again. This was the SMT with ES, which would have validated this, the move. But on NQ there was also bearish S&T here, but that was the inversion on NQ was disrespected, and I got a little bit confused there. So I got out. It was a paper trade though, but I got out. But then again, look at the I forgot liquidity here. The stuff that they had low resistance, high resistance to downside, and when you see structure like this and it starts moving, and then I was looking at midnight. But yeah, this would have been a nice move, both on ES and NQ. But besides of that move was running, I put it in the Discord that I was already interested in this area today. So it's not only the move itself, but I do believe that if we do go down, we first have to go up into this area. There's a volume imbalance on the daily. So I was already eyeing that level. So I got a little bit annoyed that I missed that move, but it's okay. It's all good. You know what? And at some point, we have next 4-hour candle coming at 6 o'clock. So I'm just curious how this candle, the 1 hour, is going to behave in this area here. Because this is, I want to see more rejection here, but we might not get it. It might not. Might even open. There might be a breakaway gap, which means we should get a measuring gap afterwards, and then the breakaway gap might not never be filled, right? Because there's no gaps. Oh, we do have a gap here, by the way. We do. Seeing do I miss something? No, this could be the breakaway gap. So this might be untouched. So then we might just go up, 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 and then yeah. Are you a Jade Cap? Yeah. Jade Cap knows his made his stuff very well. Yeah. But does Jade Cap have You just watched his videos, and yeah, I mean he's a very good trader, and I believe a very good guy as well. So trustworthy. I didn't know that does he do regulars? Does he have? I did see him come by, but I don't know if he. I'll have a look at JadeCap. And JadeCap also applies a lot of time in his trading. Yeah. Yeah, and Jinka and Q is just crying, but I do think we might get I'm looking for this little rejection here because of this large wick, which I'm hoping is going to do its function as a rejection block, and then before it goes to the upside, and then we might have a new 4-hour candle at 6, which might be continuation. So we might get another continuation 4-hour candle to the upside, and that will give us a good entry, but it could also be a consolidation candle. Hello, SK. How are you doing? Hello to you. I actually was planning to go away after 10 past 5, but I'm always longer because I just enjoy tape reading. Um, but I actually really need to do some things, and I just love tape reading and chatting with you guys all the time. But I've been counting how much hours I've been talking in a week because I was like, why am I so tired at the end of the week? And I was like, okay, I actually have a long, quite long, the London sessions and New York sessions. On average, they are longer than 2 hours per time. I mean, how long have I been doing this one? Oh, 2 hours already. Yeah, but I don't mind. I really don't mind. It's not that I don't mind, but um, last week was really busy. I had a lot of paperwork that I also needed to do and other stuff. So I was like really like didn't have much time in between. So, but yeah, I can do this. I can just do it nonstop, I guess. But it's better not to do it. And I guess you guys get fed up with me talking all the time. That's why I started the Discord so we can get together and then you guys can talk as well. That's the point. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it here so I can do some stuff and get back for the later session. Yeah, so always grade those wicks. So, and Jinka, if you see those larger wicks, before they become liquidity, they are, I consider them rejection blocks until they prove me that they're not. So if I see a wick like that, so this is a 1-hour wick. So what you see is you see a lot of the time it does not go straight. Oh, sometimes it does, but most of the times they reject price action rejects in them. So that's why I always grade them, and um, that's why when you have a lot of wicks back and forth, you get a lot of price action, and we call that seek and destroy, right? So if you see a lot of wicks, it goes back and forth because all these wicks are causing price action to reject from them. So if I see price action, if I see, like for example, doji candle with 2 large wicks on the side, I know, okay, price is going to be shitty with the next candle because it will go back and forth maybe a couple of times before it breaks one of the sides to the up or the downside. So yeah, so I'm just, for me, when I saw this week after the 5 o'clock candle finished, after 5 o'clock, I knew, okay, we're not going to go there in this macro, so we have to wait. But hey, listen, the body is not going below this one either, right? You can see that on the 1 hour, the body is staying above the close, so that's very bullish. So it is indicating some bullish price action, but you could expect maybe one or 2 hours, maybe consolidation in this area, could be, but it could also blast through it. But I won't be there to see it for if it happens now because I need to go. Again, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me and supporting me and being part of the family. I'm going to call it a family because it is. It is starting to feel like a family. Um, I will see you guys later. And if you have any questions, feel free to either join the Discord or send it in. Well, I don't know. YouTube is difficult to send me a question, right? I guess after I've closed the stream, you have to enter the next one to do that. But yeah, feel free to holler at me anytime. Let me just double check if there's anything now. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. And stay safe. Use the rejection blocks. Just be careful. Oh no, Rookie. Oh, we have no Rookie. Hi, no Rookie. How are you doing? See, I'm just enjoying. I cannot go away without saying hello and just making sure. I want to know. I just want to know. Yeah. What are your bias? Yes, ICT concept. Yes. So my bias is on NQ, as you can see on your screen. I have the volume in the yellow area, the volume imbalance, the daily. I think price will go up there, maybe even a little bit higher. So my bias for the London session was actually to the upside. I do believe we might go down from there, but I'm not really sure. I have to see how bullish we are on NQ. But for me, is I would have reassessed. I was hoping we might get to that level during London, but we did not. And then I have to reassess how price action is behaving to see if we're bullish or bearish for the New York session. But for now, I am bullish up until that volume imbalance, the yellow area. That is my bullish area for sure. But it might take a little bit more time than I anticipated to get there. So I hope that helps. More on my biases in the New York session, guys. I need to go. I love you all, and thank you again for supporting me, and I'll see you back in the next session. Stay safe, guys.